Aircraft marshalling is a vital part of ground operations at any airport. It is the visual communication system used to guide aircraft on the ground. This happens in areas like the apron, taxiways, and parking stands. The people who do this are called aircraft marshalers or ground crew. They use a series of hand signals to talk to the pilots. These signals tell the pilot where to go, how fast to move, and when to stop. It is like a special dance with a very large and powerful partner. The main goal is to move the aircraft safely and efficiently from one place to another without any incidents. This process is crucial for keeping the airport running smoothly, ensuring planes are ready for their next flight on time. The importance of marshalling cannot be overstated. An airport apron is a very busy and potentially dangerous place. There are many vehicles, ground support equipment, and other aircraft moving around. The pilots sitting in the cockpit have a limited view of what is happening directly in front of and below the aircraft's nose. They cannot see the wingtips or the engines clearly. The marshaller acts as the pilot's eyes on the ground. They provide the necessary guidance to prevent collisions with buildings, equipment, or other planes. Without clear and precise marshalling, the risk of accidents would increase dramatically, leading to costly damages and serious safety hazards for everyone involved. Marshalers use specific, internationally recognized signals. These signals are standardized by organizations like the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO. This ensures that a pilot from any country can understand the instructions given by a marshaller anywhere in the world. The equipment used by a marshaller is simple but effective. During the day, they might use high-visibility wands, paddles, or even just their gloved hands. At night or in low-visibility conditions, they use illuminated wands or marshalling torches. This makes their signals clearly visible to the flight crew regardless of the time of day or weather conditions. This universal language is a cornerstone of global aviation safety. Ultimately, marshalling is about creating a safe and controlled environment for massive machines. It is a job that requires great attention to detail, clear communication, and a deep understanding of the airport layout and procedures. A good marshaller must be aware of their surroundings at all times. They need to coordinate with other ground personnel and air traffic control to ensure a seamless operation. Every signal given is a critical piece of information that helps guide a multi-million-dollar aircraft full of passengers and crew to its designated spot. It is a high-responsibility role that is fundamental to the entire air travel system. When an aircraft arrives at its parking stand, the marshaller uses a series of specific signals to guide it into the correct position. The first signal the pilot often sees is the Identify Stand signal. The marshaller raises both arms, fully extended above their head, with palms facing inwards. This tells the pilot, "I am your marshaller, and this is your designated parking stand." It establishes the first point of contact and confirms that the pilot is approaching the right location. From this moment, the pilot will follow every instruction given by the marshaller. This initial signal is like a formal greeting, setting the stage for the careful process of parking the aircraft. Once the connection is established, the marshaller will use the Proceed Straight Ahead signal. This is done by bending the arms at the elbow and moving the wands in an upward and backward motion, from the waist to the shoulders. The speed of this motion indicates the desired speed of the aircraft. A faster motion means the pilot can taxi a little faster, while a slow, deliberate motion signals the need to reduce speed. This signal is used for the majority of the aircraft's movement toward the parking stand. It is the primary way the marshaller controls the forward momentum of the aircraft, ensuring a steady and safe approach along the designated center line. As the aircraft gets closer to its final stopping point, the marshaller will signal the pilot to slow down. The slowdown signal is given by extending the arms out to the side, parallel to the ground, and gently moving them up and down. This is a clear instruction for the pilot to reduce the aircraft's speed significantly. It indicates that the final stop position is near, and that precision is now more important than speed. This signal prepares the pilot for the final, most delicate part of the parking maneuver. The marshaller must judge the aircraft's speed and distance carefully to give this signal at the perfect time. The final and most critical signal is stop. To give this signal, the marshaller extends their arms and wands, crossing them above their head. This forms an X shape. This is an unmistakable command to the pilot to apply the brakes and bring the aircraft to a complete halt. The marshaller holds this position until the pilot has confirmed the parking brake is set. After the stop signal, the marshaller might give the chocks in signal by showing their thumbs pointing inwards, indicating that wheel chocks are being placed. This entire sequence of signals ensures the aircraft is parked precisely and securely, ready for its turnaround operations. Voila. Pushback is the process of moving an aircraft away from the terminal gate using a special vehicle called a pushback tug or tractor. This procedure also relies on a clear set of signals between the ground crew and the pilots. The process begins after all doors are closed and the jet bridge has been retracted. The ground crew first establishes communication with the flight deck via a headset connected to the aircraft. They will ask for confirmation that the aircraft's brakes are released. The first visual signal is often "insert steering pin," where the marshaller shows a pin to the pilot, indicating the nose wheel steering is being bypassed for the tug to control. Once the tug is connected, and the steering pin is in, the pushback can begin. The ground crew member operating the tug will receive clearance from the flight deck, and sometimes the control tower. The marshaller, standing in a position visible to both the pilot and the tug driver, will give the start pushback signal. This is usually a forward pushing motion with one hand, while the other points in the direction the aircraft's tail needs to go. This signal tells the tug driver to start moving the aircraft backwards slowly and carefully. The marshaller watches the entire area, ensuring the path is clear of obstacles. During the pushback, the marshaller's main job is to guide the turn. They will use a turn signal to direct the tug driver. To signal a turn, the marshaller will point with one arm in the direction the aircraft's nose should face, while the other arm gives the proceed straight ahead signal, but in this context, it means continue the pushback. For example, to turn the aircraft's nose to the pilot's right, the marshaller will point to their left. This communication ensures the aircraft is pushed back along the correct taxi line, positioning it perfectly to start its journey to the runway. The final step is to stop the pushback and disconnect the tug. When the aircraft has reached the designated spot, the marshaller will give the stop signal by crossing their arms. This tells the tug driver to halt. The ground crew will then ask the pilot to set the parking brake. Once the brake is confirmed as set, the tug and tow bar are disconnected. The marshaller will then show the steering pin to the pilot again before removing it, signaling that the pilot now has control of the nose wheel steering. The final signal is the all-clear salute, a standard military-style salute which tells the pilot they are free to taxi. Safety is the absolute priority during all ground handling operations, especially marshalling and pushback. For the marshaller, maintaining situational awareness is the most important rule. This means they must always be aware of their position relative to the aircraft, including the engines and propellers. They must stay on the designated taxi line and never turn their back on a moving aircraft. Wearing high-visibility clothing, steel-toed boots, and hearing protection is mandatory. Marshallers must also ensure the ground is free of foreign object debris, like loose tools or rubbish, which could be sucked into an engine and cause catastrophic damage. Pilots also have a critical role in ensuring safety during these procedures. They must follow the marshaller's signals precisely and without question. If there is any confusion or if they lose sight of the marshaller, they must stop the aircraft immediately. Pilots should keep their taxi speed very low in the apron area to allow for quick stops if needed. Before pushback, the flight crew must confirm with the ground crew that the area is clear and that all ground equipment has been moved away from the aircraft. This cross-check between the cockpit and the ground team is a fundamental safety barrier that prevents many potential accidents. Another key safety aspect is the proper use of equipment. The pushback tug must be correctly attached to the aircraft's nose gear using a tow bar. An improperly connected tow bar can break during the pushback, leading to a loss of control of the aircraft. This is known as a shear pin break, which is designed to happen to prevent damage to the nose gear, but it still creates a dangerous situation. The ground crew must perform a pushback walk-around, checking that the tow bar is secure, the steering bypass pin is inserted correctly, and the area behind the aircraft is completely clear before any movement begins. Finally, clear and standardized communication is a non-negotiable safety rule. All signals must be given in a clear, deliberate manner. Rushing through signals can lead to misinterpretation. If verbal communication is used via headset, it must be concise and use standard phraseology. For example, the ground crew will explicitly ask, "Confirm brakes are released," and wait for the pilot's response before starting to move. This loop of command and confirmation ensures that both parties are on the same page at every stage of the process, minimizing the chance of human error and keeping the operation safe for everyone. In conclusion, the careful choreography of aircraft marshalling and pushback is fundamental to the rhythm of any airport. It is a process that blends human skill with precise communication to guide incredibly powerful machines in crowded spaces. From the initial signal that identifies the parking stand to the final salute that releases the aircraft for taxi, every gesture has a specific meaning and a critical purpose. This universal language of hand signals ensures that pilots and ground crews, regardless of their native language, can work together seamlessly to position aircraft with remarkable accuracy. It is this system that prevents chaos on the apron and allows for the orderly flow of air traffic. The importance of these procedures for airport safety cannot be emphasized enough. The marshaller acts as a vital link, serving as the pilot's eyes on the ground to navigate tight spaces and avoid hazards that are invisible from the cockpit. The strict adherence to safety protocols, such as maintaining situational awareness, conducting pre-movement checks, and ensuring clear communication, forms a robust defense against accidents. These practices protect not only the multi-million-dollar aircraft but also the lives of the crew, passengers, and all the ground personnel who work tirelessly to keep the airport running. Safety is not just a guideline, it is the very foundation upon which these operations are built. Furthermore, efficient marshalling and pushback are directly linked to the overall operational efficiency of an airport. A swift and precise turnaround on the ground means an aircraft can depart on time. This has a ripple effect across the entire air travel network, helping to minimize delays and improve the passenger experience. When ground crews perform their duties effectively, they contribute to maintaining tight flight schedules, which is crucial for the financial health of airlines and the reputation of the airport. The seemingly simple act of guiding a plane to its gate is, in fact, a key component of a much larger and more complex logistical puzzle. Ultimately, aircraft marshalers and ground crews are the unsung heroes of the aviation world. While passengers may only notice the pilots and cabin crew, it is the dedicated team on the ground that makes each safe arrival and on-time departure possible. Their expertise, vigilance, and commitment to following standardized procedures ensure that the airport environment remains safe and efficient. The silent visual dialogue between a marshaller and a pilot is a perfect example of the professionalism and teamwork that define the aviation industry, proving that sometimes the most important communications require no words at all.